Hey there, On Tracker. Scott Graves here from the On Track Music Guitar School, and we are going to start to learn all about the blues. Okay, blues is a great style to know for guitar, and blues is a foundation for all of the traditional styles of music, or the main styles of music for, say, the last 60 years. And it's great to know as a musician because it gives you the foundations for a lot of different styles, and it's something that you can do. Say if you want to play with somebody else and you don't know what to play, a lot of times guys get together. What should we play? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? Well, how about we do blues and E? And as soon as you know what that is, everybody goes, "Oh, blues and E. I know that. Let's play a blues and E." And is once you understand how the blues works, it makes it possible for you to jam with other people just kind of on the fly. And there are so many songs that are written around basic blues progressions, millions of songs. And so understanding that 12 bar blues is an essential part of being a musician. So we're gonna learn all about it. Now, the first things that I'm going to do is I'm going to start with kind of some of the easier things to play technique wise, so that those of you who are kind of new to guitar and haven't had a lot of playing experience are going to be able to jump in and play some of these blues things. Now, just because you're a more advanced guitar player, you should still do these basic techniques. You just move through them faster because you want to understand the foundations of the style, and if you don't do the whole unit, you'll kind of have gaps in your learning. So you want to start from the start and just kind of move through it faster if you're more advanced. And if you're not as an advanced of a player, we're going to show you some stuff that can get you jamming blues with friends right away. So anyway, let's just dig into it, okay? So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen here with you, and we are going to look at what is called a basic 12-bar blues progression in the key of A. So let me go ahead and share that. Okay, so if I'm just going to play this for you real quick. If I was going to play this progression that's on the screen, okay, this is a basic 12-bar blues in the key of A. I'm going to start on this A up here, and I'm going to end up down here on this E, okay? Now, normally in a blues song, I would repeat that a bunch of times, but I'll just do it once, and then I'll just add an extra A at the end. I just want you to hear kind of what this sounds like. This is going to have kind of a rock and roll feel to it, and so I'm going to keep sharing the screen and just kind of, you can watch me in the corner here, watch how it is that I play it, and then we'll talk about how to play it. But I'm going to count to 4 and I'll go. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. A. Now I go to the next line. This is the D. And back to the A. And the E. Another D. A. Okay, so that was it. That's what it sounds like. Now, you've probably heard something like that in your lifetime, I would imagine. There's a lot of songs based around that type of a progression. Okay, so let's just take a quick look at some basic things with this. So first of all, why do they call this a 12-bar blues? Well, there are 12 bars. A bar is a measure. Okay, there's measure number 1 right here, and at the end there's measure number 12. Okay, and that 12th bar, after that 12th bar, you just repeat back up to 1, and you go back and forth through that progression several times in a song. And in a 12-bar blues song, where a song is based on the blues, usually you just keep repeating that progression, but maybe one time that's an intro, and maybe one time it's a verse, or one time it's a chorus, or one time it's a solo. Okay, and you'll kind of trade off different lyrics and stuff as you go through the 12 bars, but the whole song will be structured around that. So that's why they call that a 12-bar blues. Okay, now this measure right here, in fact, the first 11 measures of this song have this feel that's called a boogie shuffle. Okay, and that's that sound that sounds like this. Okay, that's kind of a rock and roll type of a feel when you do a boogie shuffle. Okay, a boogie shuffle has straight eighth notes as opposed to swung eighth notes. We'll talk about that coming up, but straight eighth notes are just counted 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And if you've done the Scott Graves method for guitar, then you know how to count eighth notes. Okay, so that's a straight feel that we're doing this boogie shuffle on. Okay, and that gives you kind of a rock and roll feel. So that's what the feel that we're using is called a boogie shuffle. And then the last measure here is called the turnaround. And the turnaround just turns you around and takes you back to the top. So in this particular measure, the last measure is a turnaround. There are turnarounds that last a couple of measures. We're going to talk all about turnarounds, but that last measure there is the turnaround. Turns you around, takes you back to the top, and then you do the whole blues again. So that's a basic form for the key of A. Okay, we're going to learn all about how to do this in different keys and stuff like that, and we're going to do all sorts of different forms, but this is the basic form, 12-bar blues, key of A, using a boogie shuffle type of a feel, and that turnaround is taking it back to the top. Okay, so now let's talk about this shuffle move, okay, in depth. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do for the shuffle move. Now, here are some graphs that are going to show you kind of how to do the shuffle move, but I'm just going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen so I can show you up close and personal what's going on here. So for the shuffle move, okay, we can do it on all the different chords that we use in the blues. There are 3 chords that we're using here in the key of A, okay? We're going to use an A chord, and for our A chord, we're using really what's an A5 chord, where I've just got my index finger down here on the 4th fret, 2nd string. The note that I play, the lowest note that I play there is the A. That's the root right there, okay? So I'm really just using 2 fingers on this, the root plus this one right here. Now, when I do the shuffle move, I take the note that's 2 frets higher than this one that's being held down, and I play that with my ring finger, okay, on beat number 2 and on beat number 4. So if I'm playing 8th notes, I go like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that was one measure. That took up one measure, okay? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now the reason I do that is that creates what's called a backbeat, okay? Give me some of that rock and roll music. It's got a backbeat. You can't lose it, okay? A backbeat accents on 2 and on 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The drummer hits his snare. Hits his snare. That's not what a snare really sounds like. But anyway, hits a snare on beat number 2 and number 4, which creates a backbeat. Opposite of classical music. Okay, classical music emphasizes 1 and 3. Rock and roll 2 and 4, okay? That's why people thought it was evil for some reason. So anyway, okay. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now you may want to slow that down, but that's an A, okay? So the A, I'm using the open 5th string and this. If I want to do a backbeat on a D, okay, I'm going to move my finger down this way. My 4th string now is my low note, okay? And then I'm hitting this 2nd string and I'm creating the backbeat like this. See how it's still going down on that 4th fret, still hitting on 2 and 4 also on the beat. One thing I like to do on the D is I like to take this 2nd finger and put it down on that 2nd string right there, okay? And then that way, if I accidentally hit that 2nd string, it's still in tune, as opposed to if I was kind of barring like this, or that would not sound good, okay? So anyway, we've got 4th string here open, and then this one down on the 2nd string, or the 3rd string, 2nd fret, okay? And there's our shuffle move, okay? So that's what I'm gonna do for the D. Now for the E, I'm gonna go like this. 6th string is my bass note, okay? And then I'm gonna put my index finger on that 5th string, 2nd fret, and do that shuffle move again, 2 frets higher with that ring finger. And this whole time I'm trying to just play 2 strings, the root, which is the open string, and the string right next to it, okay? Now for the E and the A, I can bar this here if I want to, and that'll still sound good if I accidentally hit the next string over, like the 4th string here. On the A, I can bar this finger here, and that way if I accidentally hit 3 strings, I sound okay. But you're really trying to aim for 2 strings on the D like this. Okay, so those are our 3 chords that we're going to use. This is for the key of A. 3 chords for the key of A. We've got A, D, and E. Those are the money chords. Okay, just ask the guys in AC/DC. Okay, and you can make a lot of money off of those 3 chords. So let's go back and share the screen again here, and look at this. Okay, so here this is just showing you again the A chord, the D chord, and then the E chord. I kind of get that out of the way there. So you can see the E chord, and it's showing you where the roots are for those chords and where the shuffle notes are. Okay, so in our progression that we just did, this is what it looked like. We did A, and we went 4 measures on the A chord. These are repeating right there. So we had 4 measures of that shuffle move. And remember, your finger goes down twice in every measure. Okay, and then we're going to go after 4 measures of that A chord. We're going to go over and do 2 D chords. So here and there, and that finger again is going down twice in every measure. Shuffle move. Then we go back to the A chord. I didn't write that in here. Just to save space, but this is same as first bar. So again, you're doing 2 more measures of A on the shuffle move. Then you do 1 E shuffle move, 1 D shuffle move, 1 A shuffle move. And then at the end here on this A, or on this E, this is not a shuffle. I'm going to do the shuffle move from the A here and then go into that E. It sounds like this. This is from the A, and then I go rest. That's what happens when I get to this turnaround measure. I just do a rest on the first beat, and then I go and 2 and 3 and 4 and on that E. Okay, so that's kind of the basic move. Now that's the first thing you're going to want to get down right now. You want to get comfortable with that shuffle move on those open chords. So what I want you to do right now is I would like you to stop right here and to practice just that. Okay, let's have you just stop right here, practice kind of the logistics of that shuffle move, getting that down on those chords and trying to go in that order. And you don't have to go this fast. You know, you could just nice and slow like that, and see if you can get the chords in the order that they're supposed to go, and get the moves back and forth between the chords. Okay, and trying to jump from the A to the D to the A to the E. Okay, so that's what we want to do first. So work on that and come back, and we're going to do that together. Okay, but stop right now and try and get that underneath your fingers. See it around, everybody. Keep on bluesing away. I'll see you in the next one.